And today on FOXSOUL's Black Report, we are joined by LaJoyce Brookshire, one of the co-creators of Women Behind the Mic. These powerful women have had incredible careers in the music industry and beyond, working with some of the biggest names in the industry. Now they are using their expertise to create a platform that amplifies the voices of women in entertainment. I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know your partner Michelle is having some technical difficulties, but I know you'll make good, and maybe we'll have you both back. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you, that works out.
All right, we are excited about Women Behind the Mic, and we just want to know what inspired you to create a platform specifically for women in this ever so interesting entertainment business.
We were inspired due to the fact that a lot of films that were being released and documentaries were glaringly absent of the women. And I remember specifically perched in front of the television, ready to watch the New Edition story, and my sisters, and we call each other sisters in the industry, those of us who work behind the scenes, my sisters who worked directly with New Edition, and at the time I was a network producer for radio, and they helped make my jobs easier. So I was so excited to see how they would be depicted, and night after night after night, they were not there. And I thought, wait a minute, on behalf of them, just the righteous indignation that I felt. And we got to work because revisionist history is in full swing, and we cannot expect anyone to tell our stories. So Michelle and I got to work.
Yeah, so why now? Why do you think it's important now for women in particular behind the scenes in the entertainment industry to tell the story? And as of now, do you see any results? Do you see folks really opening up to want to hear these stories and really log these stories, if you will, especially for reference with the next generation of young girls up and coming?
You just said it. The next generation of girls who are up and coming, and that is the reason why. For a long time, I was just okay. Michelle was just okay with having a few trophies on the wall like the ones you see behind me, our pretty pictures and our memories. But you know what? That's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
I have a daughter who's 21, and women everywhere, young women everywhere need to know that we were a part of history. And so this book's purpose is to cement our history, because history deserves to be public, first of all. And so we are making these stories made known publicly, when just amongst ourselves we knew these stories, but now we're sharing them with everyone, and the reception has been fantastic. Yes, people want to know what happened behind the scenes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that, LaJoyce, because as you are, climbing the ladder and gaining all the accolades and the notoriety, I think sometimes we lose sight, for those of us who are doing it and have done it, we lose sight that we are also curating a legacy that the next generation can live in and learn from. So with that in mind, talk a little bit about the Mic Check curriculum and how it continues to support women in their careers.
And for those reasons, we created the Mic Check curriculum, because it is no good to keep this information to ourselves.
That's right.
I mean, we're moving on. We have retooled ourselves. I'm now a naturopathic doctor. I no longer work in entertainment, but what I do have are a set of skills that have translated into success in other arenas. And that is what young people can come to learn. Also, with the Mic Check curriculum, we want them to see that having a career in entertainment is viable. That young girls who know how to do hair, well, we pay $1,500 a head to get that hair done. The women who like to do nails, and even the young men who like to cut hair, we have to take barbers on the road. And those are the kind of things you'll know, what? I can get paid to do that? What? I like listening to music, and I can tell you what's a good song, what's a bad song, and I could get paid for that. And once people, this next generation comes to understand that you don't have to be the one singing on the mic.
That's right.
That the real power rests with the people who work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And not only that, but they can see themselves earning a decent living because once they come to understand that the entertainment industry is a contributor to the global economy, they might start to look at it differently and choose different majors in college.
Yeah, you know what? We talked not too long ago to a stunt woman, black stunt woman, in entertainment and all of her feats. And you know, I was listening to her talk, and I was like, I'm hoping the young soulmates that we call our viewers are listening in, just to know that this type of career is available. And sometimes, LaJoyce, that behind the scenes check is just as big or bigger than in front of the camera. Briefly, as we've got a couple minutes left, talk a little bit about those careers that we might not be aware of: stunt doubles, camera operators. We know of the costume. We've just got the 2 Oscars.
Yes.
Talk about those fields that aren't as popular. Everybody wants to be the A-list actor, but there are plenty of good employment opportunities, you know, behind the scenes.
Good employment opportunities.
Yeah.
So while everyone is so busy posting themselves, you're not understanding that you can actually get a check for being a social media curator, and that on the staff of record labels, one label in particular, they have 22 employees for people who just curate content. So if social media is your thing, and then if you like calling up a friend and telling them about what's hot and what's not, then publicity may be your thing.
That's right.
And if you like getting into the mud of the things and starting from scratch and writing plans, and if writing is your thing, I'm a writer by trade, so it was very handy with publicity for me because there's a lot of writing involved, press releases, and newspapers will even run your entire release if it's a good one.
Sure. We've got a little less than a minute left. Let's. I don't want to let you go without talking about the book and lecture series, Women Behind the Mic. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, Women Behind the Mic, Curators of Pop Culture, Volume 1 has just been released, and it's titled Word to the Wise. And because it's a lot of wise words from 22 women executives who work behind the scenes, and we debuted #1 on Amazon. We'll steer there a couple of weeks later. And the lecture series, we're going to be going to schools and colleges and HBCUs and all types of events where we will be had to share our stories with the public.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We appreciate the movement. We'll have you back on with your partner, Michelle. God bless. And you're an official soulmate now, and we definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. We shall talk again.
All right. Thank you.
So, you know, I know we've wrapped up Women's History Month, but definitely these ladies, you know, driving that whole point home, reaching and breaking through those glass ceilings, especially to, you know, to be a woman and working with Bad Boy. And even though there was a lot of R&B acts, it was really, you know, hip hop, rap heavy. And for them to still, you know, move through that industry with success was really, really great to hear. And it really continues, and it has inspired, you know, new up and coming female execs in the industry as well.
And we know how challenging it can be for a woman to work behind the scenes in the music business. What was her name? Dee from that rap show, who tried to deal with Dr. Dre and got pushed completely out of the business. But anyway, it's kudos to any woman that can navigate through this quote unquote man's world and still make things happen.
And it's good now that you know, even though it might be a little late, that they still get their props, they still get kudos, and they still get recognition. So big ups to those young ladies, indeed.